let's talk about the radical left. So this is a phrase that the GOP is great at this. They're great at coming up with a couple of words, phrase to describe their side. The radical left, Antifa, they come up with these phrases. I'd like to define what the radical left is. Here's what the radical left is. The radical left is about freedom to vote. The radical left is about freedom to be who you are. The radical left is about freedom to marry who you love. The radical left is healthcare for everybody. The radical left is infrastructure. The radical left is making sure that rich people pay their fair share. The radical left is about the Constitution. And the radical left is about standing for America and what our values are. That's radical. What that means is you people on the right are not part of America. And you co-opted the word patriot, and yet
I hate that.
But nothing you do is patriotic.
I was just sitting in my car in the parking lot talking to my dad, and we were talking about his diagnosis and the test that he has to have, and he has to call the VA and see if they're covered, and if they're not covered. I said, well, you have Medicare, right? And TRICARE from the military and da-da-da. And he said, yeah, Medicare pays first, though. And if the VA doesn't cover, and I said, well, you better hope that. And then I went, wait, I say you better hope, except you voted for them. The people that you voted in, they want to get rid of Medicare and Social Security. And it gets very quiet. And he goes, what? And I said, yeah, you can go online and read Kevin McCarthy's plan, which I did at Grandma's loudly.
What Grandma say?
She was trapped under cardigans.
Yeah,
she couldn't.
Afghan. A bunch of college people visit her. No, it's Afghans, not cardigans.
Not Letterman jackets, you idiot.
So, and then I said, yeah, Dad, when they get back in power, that's one of the first things they're going to do. They said that.
They said it.
And then he said, well, I don't understand. And then I get these bills, and these bills are crazy. And I said, oh, I'm still getting bills for my surgery. And he said, well, that's ridiculous. And I said, all other industrialized countries have socialized healthcare. They all have good healthcare that they pay for with their taxes. There aren't poor people that can't afford to be taken care of, like a basic human right. And it gets very quiet again. And I realize, okay, I'm losing him. And I said, but anyway, maybe you'll think about that next time you vote. I got to go inside and do the podcast. And he was like, okay, then. Well, sometimes I just do like drive-bys.
What people don't, by the way, you're good at it too, because I can't. You know me. I'll go, let me explain to you what's going on.
And then see you later.
Do you just drop your phone?
Well,
yeah.
Well, basically, when I start talking to the family that believes this stuff, it's like when they hit the emergency button and the guard and the steel gates go crank. No one's hearing shit.
Yeah. Well,
she has a way. They're like they're hovering over the button. They're like, what? Yeah.
Oh, I'm concerned for you. You should hear this. That's how I do it.
But here's the thing: if you look at what other countries do when it comes to healthcare, here's what happens in our country. So you get sick. Eventually, listen, we're all going to get sick. Gonna happen.
Yeah.
Gonna happen. There's no one's just going to be healthy and then die. It's going to be. You're going to get sick. You're going to need care, and all that money you've saved in your life, all that money you've put into your house, all those payments, you're going to have to get a loan out of those payments to pay what insurance doesn't cover. So our country is built on this, the thing that all your money now gets transferred to corporations before you die. You don't get to pass it to your kids. You don't get to pass it to your family. You don't get to take care of anybody. You're going to give your money to medical care. That's what's going to happen. And insurance covers so little of it. It would not be hard to switch our system up because there's models worldwide. Iceland, Sweden, Finland. There's models worldwide. Yeah, but tax is going to be high. What do we pay in California now? What do we pay? Like, what's our tax rate in California? It's 38% plus 13%.
It's very high.
Yeah, but doesn't California have a healthcare? We have a different healthcare. Don't we have our own healthcare now?
We have Covered California. That if
as an option.
You don't have to, but it's basically, since Obamacare, it's like an exchange where you can go and it's based on your income. And so feasibly, people that don't make any money could get healthcare for
nothing,
a few dollars or something.
So Jen, can you get on that?
Anybody could.
I didn't think about that. They should sign up just in case.
Jen was going to do it. I mean, anybody can. It's all based on your current.
So easy to deal with the bureaucracy too, wasn't it?
Ugh. But that was the first year, and I thought we all had to be on it, and I didn't know. I was very confused.
But we pay a shitload for healthcare.
And I still got like 9 bills after my surgery.
Right, and we still ended up paying after your surgery. It was like $10,000. We
walked in before my surgery, which I had scheduled, doctor booked, everything was handled, did pre-op walked into the hospital that morning, stressed AF, and they lead us into a room with a bookkeeping lady who tells us that what we need to pay first was like $2,800 before they would even let me go and have a room.
Yeah.
Because if I couldn't pay that, I wasn't going to get this surgery that they said I had to have.
Yeah.
So awesome.
This big for-profit medical industry that we have, there's so much money in it. That's why it's so hard to take it down.
Right. Well, no, it wouldn't be if Citizens United wasn't part of the deal.
Right.
If corporations could not pay our politicians, if it was illegal, like it used to be illegal, you couldn't. In fact, we had congressmen taken out when I was a kid because of this.
Yeah.
If it wasn't legal to pay the politicians, it would be less. But because it's not, the people with the most money buy the most politicians, get the laws they want passed. And that's why electric cars are taking so long, and that's why our healthcare system is fucked. And
it's a big circle.
Well, Carlin said it, man. There was an interview with Carlin. He was on it was on Bill Maher, old Bill Maher show, like Politically Incorrect, years and years ago. And someone said, you can't say it. There's not a conspiracy to keep the poor people poor. And Carlin stops and he goes, it's not a conspiracy. There's not an email. He goes, but all these people go to the same schools. They know each other. They know exactly what the plan is. And it's not a meeting. They all just have the same idea that's passed down generation after generation after generation. And that's why the system is so fucked. I'm praying because the young people, for the first time in my life, that's when I did that bit in the last special about millennials. First time in my life, David Hogg, kids like that, where I'm like, you guys have said, fuck it, I'm standing for this.
Well, there's a societal agreement on different people's place in society, that it's an unspoken agreement that people don't even realize that they're buying into and being a part of. Some people do, but some people don't. And so you're right. It is handed down. You know, I was raised to know that no matter what, I was going to college. There was no other option. Your ass goes to college.
Right.
You were not raised to think that. That was not something on your radar.
I was told.
Could have left it. You were not raised
college. I was told flat out, you ain't going to college.
But that's just a small example of where I just thought, well, that's life. That's what you do. That's how this works. You know, I'm going to have health care. I always have, and I always will, right? I mean, it's the way that I learned quickly once I got in college. That shit don't work like that. No. But it's just an agreement. I had a discussion with my grandma. We have older people alive today that lived in a much more strong agreement with much less dissension. And we had a little confrontation last night with them.
Basically,
I'm doing the Lord's work, but
basically,
don't say nope.
I would say MLK, the ghost of MLK invaded you yesterday.
Yes.
You want to tell it? I'll just put a giant censor over the whole thing.
This can't be said because Grandma may listen to the podcast.
Grandma won't listen, but other people do. And I just, you know, she's learning or not. But I'm trying. I'm doing my best.